Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, March 16th, coming to you live from Seoul. I'm Kim Mo-kyan. Before we get started, these are the stories we're following at the top of the hour. The powerful sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un slammed South Korea and the United States for conducting joint military exercises. Kim Yojong has spoken out, saying that it will be difficult for the Korean peninsula to return to the peaceful spring days of 3 years ago. South Korea reported 363 new COVID-19 cases Tuesday, inching slightly down from the past few days. The nation's prime minister introduced the possibility of implementing a vaccine day-off system so that the public can get inoculated without concerns over side effects. And Minari, a film about a Korean-American immigrant family moving to the U.S., has received 6 Oscar nominations, including for Best Picture and Best Supporting Actress. Our top story this morning: over a week into the South Korea-U.S. joint military drills, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, has slammed the practice and threatened to scrap the inter-Korean military agreement. Kim also sent a message, or rather a warning, to the new U.S. administration in an official statement for the first time. For more, our North Korean affairs correspondent Kim Dami is on the line for us. Tami, tell us more.
Right, Mo-kyan, with just 2 days left until the end of the joint military exercise, Kim Yo-jong has warned that it'll be difficult for the peaceful spring days of 3 years ago to return to the Korean peninsula. That's when leaders from the two Koreas held their very first historic meeting. In a statement released by the North State media on Tuesday, Kim also threatened to scrap a tension-easing military pact signed by Seoul and Pyongyang in 2018 and even get rid of an organization in charge of cross-border affairs. But by adding that the regime will keep an eye on South's behavior and attitude, she did leave a room for improvement of inter-Korean ties. The warning also comes just 1 day ahead of the planned visit to Seoul and Tokyo by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd. So while also keeping tabs on the top U.S. officials' visits, the North is sending a warning not to provoke them, especially through the so-called 2+2 meetings with South Korean and Japanese counterparts. And for the first time ever, there was also an official message to the Biden administration, who recently reached out to Pyongyang without receiving a direct response. Kim Yo-jong warned Washington not to make, quote, hassles that will keep them awake all night for the next 4 years. Since last Monday, Seoul and Washington have been holding their regular springtime military drills, though drastically scaled down because of the pandemic. That's all I have. Back to you, Mo-kyan.
Thank you, Tammy. We appreciate it. Now, on the situation here on the Korean peninsula with the COVID-19 situation, the country reported 363 new COVID-19 cases Tuesday. And of the new cases, 345 were locally transmitted and 18 were from overseas. 3 more people have died of the virus, raising the death toll to 1,678. As for the vaccination campaign, more than 11,900 people received their first dose on Monday, bringing the total number of jabs given so far to over 602,000. And to let people feel safe about getting vaccinated, South Korea is planning to institutionalize time off work for vaccinations. Prime Minister Chung Se-kyun at a conference on Tuesday said there's a fair number of people showing normal immune reactions, such as fever, after getting the vaccine. So he's urging related authorities to make a plan so that people can take time off work when getting the shot. The World Health Organization has advised countries to continue using AstraZeneca's vaccine, saying that the shots have no direct link to the recent cases of blood clots in vaccine recipients. However, more countries have joined the list and temporarily suspending use of the vaccine. Our Choi Min-jung reports.
The World Health Organization has advised countries to continue using the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. The advisory comes after an increasing number of countries in Europe decided to temporarily suspend the rollout due to fears over blood clots. During a press briefing on Monday, the WHO's chief scientist stressed that there has been no causal link established between the shot and clotting so far. The scientist pointed out that the incidence of blood clotting happened more often in the general population. Another WHO vaccine expert also stressed that the benefits of getting vaccinated outweigh the risks.
The recommendation at this point is that the risk-benefit of not vaccinating using AstraZeneca vaccines and other vaccines outweigh the risk of the COVID infection, which we know has a a significant impact on people with severe disease, hospitalization, and death.
The WHO Director General added that the organization's advisory committee will meet on Tuesday to review data on vaccine safety. However, despite the WHO, European regulators, and the company insisting there is no evidence of the vaccine causing clots, more countries in Europe have joined the list. According to the Associated Press, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain on Monday decided to halt AstraZeneca shots. Germany's decision comes after 7 cases of blood clotting was reported in people who had been inoculated. France and Italy have decided to suspend the jab momentarily, while Spain announced it will stop the rollout for 2 weeks. The EU drug regulator is set to meet on Thursday to review the vaccine safety data before deciding on measures if necessary. Choi Min-jung, Arirang News.
Seen as an early move by the Biden administration to reassure Washington's allies and to counter China's influence, the top U.S. diplomat and defense chief are now in Japan on the first leg of their 4-day tour to Northeast Asia. Following a meeting with their Japanese counterparts, they'll fly to South Korea to coordinate with Seoul on a slew of issues. Our Kim Hyo-sun has more.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd arrived in Japan Monday night to sit down with their Japanese counterparts. Blinken tweeted that the alliance between the two countries remains the cornerstone of peace, security, and prosperity in the region. In a joint op-ed published by the Washington Post on Monday, Blinken and Austin said their visit is aimed at delivering the Biden administration's message that the U.S. wants to revitalize ties with its friends and partners. The piece, titled America's Partnerships Are Force Multipliers in the World, elaborated on how Washington's alliances enable the U.S. to achieve far more with them, adding that no country has the same level of network of alliances and partnerships as the U.S. They also stressed that while America's one-on-one ties are valuable, Washington is also looking to revitalize relationships between its different allies. They explained that Washington's cooperation with Seoul and Tokyo covers a vast range of issues, including North Korea's nuclear program, as well as global security. The op-ed also signaled that the Biden administration has a close eye on a resurgent China by explaining that Washington's alliances and partnerships will make the country stronger when it needs to push back against Beijing's aggression and threats. Blinken and Austin are scheduled to meet with their Japanese counterparts for so-called 2+2 talks and visit Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga. From Wednesday to Thursday, they will visit South Korea to sit down with Seoul's foreign and defense ministers and visit President Moon Jae-in. Kim Hyo-sun, Arirang News.
The UN issued a grim statistic on Monday, saying at least 138 peaceful protesters have been killed in Myanmar since the coup started last month. According to the UN spokesman, the estimated toll includes the 38 people killed on Sunday, the bloodiest single day in the violence. Speaking on behalf of the UN Secretary General, the spokesman said the UN strongly condemns the violence against the peaceful protesters, as well as the continuing violation of human rights. The UN Human Rights Office added that the death toll includes women and children. South Korea's import and export prices both went up last month. The Bank of Korea said Tuesday that export prices rose for the third consecutive month in February by 3.1% on month. This is a 0.2 percentage point rise compared to the same month last year. The figure showing on-year growth for the first time in 21 months. The increase was mainly due to rising global oil prices and higher prices of chemical and petrochemical goods. South Korea's import prices jumped by 3.8% on month as prices of raw materials rose. Minari, a film about a Korean-American immigrant family moving to the U.S., has received 6 Oscar nominations, including for Best Picture and Best Supporting Actress. With this, Youn Yuh-jung, 73-year-old Korean screen veteran, became the first South Korean actress to get a nod in an acting category from the world's most coveted film awards. Our Lee Seung-jae has more.
History was made on Monday as South Korean actress Youn Yuh-jung was nominated for Best Supporting Actress at this year's Academy Awards for her role in Minari, becoming the very first South Korean actress to get an Oscars nod. playing the role of an eccentric grandmother. Youn will vie for the prize with Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman for The Father, and Amanda Seyfried for Mank. Hearing the news, Youn could not contain her excitement.
I don't know how to describe. I never even dreamed about being nominated in Oscar. Oscar is far away from us because I'm born and raised in Korea. So to me, Oscar is just a television program for us once a year, very big event from some other part of the world. But we know all of their face through the movie. But me being nominated in that supporting actress role, I don't know how to describe.
As well as becoming the first South Korean actress to receive an Oscar nomination, she also becomes just the fourth Asian actress to achieve the feat. Including that category, the drama about a Korean-American immigrant family in the U.S. earned 6 nominations. Minari will also compete for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, and Best International Feature Film. Steven Yeun, who played the father in the film, was nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Yeun becomes the first Asia-born actor to make the last 5 in the Best Actor category in Academy Award history. While the Oscars have been hosted at the Dolby Theater since it was opened in 2001, this year's ceremony will also be held at a second location at Union Station in downtown LA in order to allow for social distancing. The train station seen in countless films will now play host to Hollywood's biggest night. 이승재, Arirang News.
Kimchi is one of South Korea's most popular foods. Recently, people have been experimenting with this traditional dish, developing new recipes. Some even involve using grapes and apples. Our Kim Hyun-sung turns the spotlight to this unique evolution.
Kimchi recipes have been handed down through the generations, but now the traditional staple has been given a new twist.
샤인머스켓 김치입니다.
샤인머스켓도 배추와 함께 절여주겠습니다.
The internet has been buzzing with unconventional kimchi recipes that use grapes or other fruits.
샤인머스켓 kimchi became a trend after someone posted this recipe on social media last year. People were like, wow, this is such a freakish food. And is there anything Koreans can't make into kimchi?
Tickled by curiosity, the food vlogger tested this recipe for himself.
근데 계속 먹다 보니까 맛있어요.
맞죠. 다들 세 번째부터 괜찮다고 하더라고요.
But this isn't the only new variety of kimchi that's out there.
Some experts estimate there are over 1,000 existing types of kimchi. Millennials and Generation Z often like to create new things, and they have come up with new recipes by mixing up different fruit and vegetables, like cilantro, into kimchi form.
But the thousands of variations didn't happen overnight.
Koreans and kimchi are inseparable. Kimchi dates all the way back to the Three Kingdoms era, where records show they pickled vegetables with salt and sauces.
Since then, kimchi has taken on its own unique form. The recipe differs from pickled vegetables in other countries, like German sauerkraut or Chinese pao chai, by using special ingredients like pickled seafood or different fermentation methods. The kimchi expert also helped demonstrate another type of fruit kimchi recipe, something that anyone can make no matter where they are in the world. To make apple kimchi, plum extract can be substituted with sugar and pickled shrimp with salt. Dice the apple and mix the ingredients together. And there you have it, your own fruit kimchi at home. Kim Hyun-sung, Arirang News.
Good morning. Just when we thought we could get some breathable air, the season's first blast of yellow dust is blowing in from overseas, and it's going to affect the western regions, then gradually move across the entire country. So the Ministry of Environment has issued an attention-level yellow dust crisis alert. Dust levels look to be the highest during the morning, but it's going to remain bad all day, so stay safe and be sure to wear proper face masks today. And let's all avoid going outdoors unless absolutely necessary. But top temperatures will stay on the mild side, hovering in the low to upper teens across the country. Gyeongju will be topping out at 20 degrees Celsius. But even Jeju will not be able to escape from the yellow dust today. Western regions will have to wait until Friday to see more breathable air. Jeju Island will see rain from Thursday. Then nationwide rain is in the forecast for Saturday. That's Korea for you, and here's a look at the weather conditions around the world.
And that will do it for us at this hour on Arirang News. We'll be back with more of the day's headlines at noon Korea time, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching and goodbye.